I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Brownie Culture. I'm a divorce mediator and I help you create a customized divorce so that you can uncouple consciously and respectfully. Today, I wanted to give you a really short video about what you can expect with online mediation. Look, this COVID not going away. God help it. Uh, Anytime soon. It's not going away yet. Not like tomorrow. Hopefully it'll go away soon and we'll be out and about. However, I like being virtual. I like being when I'm a real person, but you know what I'm saying. I like doing online things. I think it makes it easier for you. You don't have to drive through LA traffic, find parking, hope your car doesn't get towed. Who's ever parked in LA and then gotten your car towed after you put money in the meter, only to find out like it was shut? That I know I'm not the only one. That's embarrassing. Okay, anyway, I really love online mediation. It absolutely makes it more convenient for you. Instead of taking, the whole day off of work or half a day off of work, you can call out for a couple hours, shut your office door, and mediate your divorce. So let me talk to you about what that will look like. So if you're joining me live, please say hello. Let me know that you're here, where you're tuning in from. If you're joining me on the replay, thank you for watching. This is hashtag, I'm sorry, not this is, but please go ahead and hashtag replay so I can thank you for being here and know that you were here. All right, so one of the first things you do, you find a mediator and you're like, I don't know if this person's gonna work for me. So you schedule a phone call. You can schedule a phone call right now on my website. Go to brownieculture.com. At the top right-hand corner, there's a button that says schedule a call. It'll take you to my calendar. We'll have a quick phone call. Although I'm here talking to you right now, you might not need that phone call. You might be like, oh, I already know what this person's about. Okay, so we schedule a quick phone call just so I can hear a little bit about you. And so that we can schedule an online, meaning Zoom, an online meeting with you and your soon-to-be ex. So I don't want to hear nothing about, I cannot hear anything about during this phone call or the initial online consultation. I can't hear anything about what happened, about who stole money, who cheated, whose mama did X, Y, and Z, and why you can't stand the stepkids, and how everything is awful. I can't hear that because we have not signed anything, so I'm therefore not bound by confidentiality. So I can't hear any of that. So that initial meeting, that initial phone call is so that you can get to know me a little bit, so that we can schedule a virtual meeting. And then that virtual meeting, what will happen is I'll go over the ground rules for mediation and online mediation and how the process will work. And then together, because mediation is voluntary, you can't force or guilt someone into going into mediation. It has to be completely voluntary. So together you have to decide if I am the right fit for you. And then I kind of have to decide that too. Do we work well together? How is that going to work? So we have to make that decision if that's right. Now, if that's right, that's when we'll start scheduling the mediations. You pay a flat fee for paperwork, things like that. I'll talk about the paperwork at the end. And then we schedule your first mediation session. So your first mediation session, in order to make everything official, we'll sign things via DocuSign. Any documents are exchanged via Dropbox. Now, California still does not allow for, hopefully they'll get there soon, but for your final divorce to create those types of paperwork, that type of document, it needs a wet signature. But for an agreement to mediate, agreement to the online ground rules for mediation, such as don't have your new boyfriend sitting on the other side of the camera. Yeah, I know I'm talking hood. I'm on purpose because it's kind of a hood move to have somebody on the other side of the camera, on the other side of the computer where I can't see them, your soon-to-be ex can't see them, and they're hearing everything. That's the fastest way to go to court. Don't do that. Don't do that. There's already enough pain. Okay, so that's part of the ground rules. We're not going to record. I'm not going to let you record the Zoom mediation. I'm not going to record it. You're not going to have your phone hidden and press and record. We're not doing that because we're creating goodwill. It's confidential. It's private. And this is about your integrity, right? It's about your integrity and it's about your your life post-divorce. And other of my written posts and even my video on Monday about, wow, I'm really tired. What did I talk about on Monday? My goodness, I can't even remember. I'm looking through my notes. I can't. Wow. Oh, how to have an ideal divorce. I'm sorry. I think I need another cup of coffee. Okay. So on Monday, I talked about how to have an ideal divorce. So you need to have integrity. You need to think about the future. So when you have an ideal divorce, you're thinking about the future. If your next lover is behind the camera, right behind this computer where no one can see them, you're not thinking of the future. So I'm here to not to scold you. Oh my gosh, no, I'm not your mama. Right? We got enough mamas. But it is to remind you to think of your future, okay? So it's going to make your future life better if you keep the drama low. So you sign, you agree to that. We schedule our first mediation session. Each mediation session will be about 2 hours long. And depending on how much you need to discuss, depends on how many sessions we need. 2, 3, we shouldn't need 10. But just a few, 3, 4 2-hour sessions. So in your first meeting, your official meeting, after I welcome you and we talk about the agenda, and I have the agenda posted, I am going to allow each person to speak to me privately. So what happens is one person I send back out to the Zoom waiting room and the other person stays in and they tell me their side of the story and then they flip places just so they have a moment of confidentiality. They can speak freely with me. And then I bring you back in. Our goal is to be in joint session the entire time. But if we have to go to, it's called caucusing, but you don't need to know that. Like, you don't be like, can I have a caucus? No, just be like, can I talk to you privately? We're keeping it real. So if you need to talk to me privately, we can do that. If you have an attorney and you are bringing your attorney to mediation, then what I would do is I'd send you and your attorney to a breakout room. That way you and your attorney can talk privately and I can pop in there and talk to you. And the other party with their attorney, they can have their own breakout room. Because if you're in the waiting room, you can't talk to anyone else. But if you bring your attorney, you could talk to them that way. Okay. At the end of that first session, so once you sign, you pay your flat fee. At the end of the mediation session, you pay for your time. So it's a 2-hour block. You pay for 2 hours, and then we schedule that next session. At the end of the session, if there's any homework you need to do, you need to go find the deed. You need to maybe talk offline because you're trying to save money. You're talking offline about parenting plans and what really works, or you're trying to figure out holiday schedules. Whatever your homework is, depends on what we discussed. You need to get your bank account numbers or get in a copy of your tax returns, those types of things. Then you get those done. That might be your homework. And then you come the next time. We don't talk offline. I'm not going to, I can't really discuss things via email and change things we've agreed on via email if I don't have agreement from both parties. So we just schedule a session and we talk about those things in the next session. So we've gone through these things. We've agreed upon them. You can see the agenda on the screen where we've agreed. I'm typing things in. We've agreed, we've agreed, we've agreed, we've agreed. Okay, once you have agreement on all these things, and know that you can reach agreement on some things and not all things. Hopefully with mediation, the goal is for you to reach agreement on everything. But if you reach an agreement on most things, but you were like, no, I don't like this, I want to go to the judge because that's my house. That's fine. That's cool. Don't take my tone as judgment. Oh my gosh, no, I don't know. Anyway, no. if you can't agree in mediation, you could still go to the judge, and it doesn't throw out everything we agreed upon. So it could be that you agreed upon retirement, and you agreed upon the kids, and you agreed upon debts and things like that. But the one thing you can't agree upon is the house. Well, those other things you agreed upon, we can get that into your final agreement, and then that last thing you can go to court about. That's okay. That's going to cost you more time and more money, but you can totally do that. So let's say that we've agreed on everything, we've agreed on parts of things. Then what's going to happen is I'm going to type up an MOU, which is a memorandum of understanding. I'm not an attorney. I'm not going to type up a marriage settlement agreement, an MSA. No, I'm going to type up an MOU, and I'm going to send it to an attorney. Either an attorney that you guys have agreed upon, or an outside party that I have picked. There is a separate fee for that. You pay them that fee. But it's not like they're an attorney on retainer and you had to drop $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 for them to handle your divorce. Nah, you pay them a flat fee for them to type up your marriage settlement agreement. So they take my MOU, what we've agreed upon, that you see, I'm not making these agreements. I'm not getting divorced. You guys are. You make the agreements. They type up the marriage settlement agreement, and this is what you do. You read it. You make sure everything is written perfectly. You make sure that they didn't spell your kids' names wrong. You make sure that they don't have the address off by one number or two. If you have, this is what you really should do. You should find a separate attorney. Once again, these are just small fees, flat fees. Have them review the document. Make sure things are written in your best interest. Make sure you're not giving away things like, yeah, well, this house has been in my family for 200 years, but you're driving me crazy, so I'm just going to give it to you. They're going to check and make sure that you're really thinking about things like that. Make sure that it's written correctly. If you guys agree, then you need a wet signature and you need to get it notarized. So you get, and you don't have to go together. You can go get a note, your signature notarized, and the other person go get their signature notarized, and those get turned into the attorney who wrote up the MSA. Those get submitted to the court. The judge reads that, and as long as it's nothing crazy, as long as you've explained yourself well, which is why you want an attorney to write this, then the judge is like, okay, cool. You're divorced as of this date. There is a minimum of 6 months in California. So they stamp it, you are divorced. You know what's great about that? You don't have to go to court. As long as you guys can agree on everything, things are spelled out clearly in your divorce decree, your marriage settlement agreement, the judge stamps that, signs that, it becomes a court-ordered divorce decree, and then it's enforceable. It's great. All right, that's pretty much what you can expect. Things are virtual, things are online. You don't have to sit in traffic. I love that part. You can be home, you can be safe. It's great. Please don't try to mediate online at Starbucks or any, outside in a park. You really need privacy. You're talking about private issues. Even if you have earbuds in and they can't hear what other people are saying, they would hear what you're saying. So you want to be able to have privacy. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you for watching. Remember, I know I've been there. I know divorce can be scary, but my job is to help you stay calm and help you to be empowered. I have faith in you, and I know you can do this. If you want to talk with me about the next steps for your divorce, go ahead and go to brownieculture.com, and then go ahead on the top right-hand corner, click the link to schedule a call, and I would be delighted to talk to you. Have a great day. You're going to get through this.